Hey everyone, welcome to another Good Ride review. We are here taking a look at the new Weston Rise in a 149. This board got a little bit of a revamp this season for 2024-2025 season. There's a few changes with the shaping, a few changes with the waist width, the side cut, materials, stuff like that. It still has a similar Rise personality as the previous models, it's just a little bit updated. So the camber profile on the Rise is a positive camber under the feet going to a little bit of early rise on the nose and the tail. This keeps it stable, it gives it nice energy, it gives it nice shape and carves, good edge control, things like that. And the early rise on the nose and the tail, just keep it a little bit playful, a little bit catch free, and gives you a little bit room for extra maneuverability. Some of the updates for the 2024-2025 season, I think the biggest one that I noticed was the waist width. The previous Rise models had quite a wide waist width. It would almost qualify as like a mid-wide for women's board. I believe the waist was 250 millimeters for the 149, and now it is down to 242 millimeters. So that changes the response a little bit. It makes it a little bit quicker to turn. It makes it a little bit more nimble feeling underfoot, and it opens up the opportunity for people with a little bit of a smaller boot size to ride these boards. So here is a look at the base. It comes with Weston's DuraSurf base. So this board comes with a pretty stiff flex. For me, it's a little bit more of a 7 or an 8 out of a 10 flex, which keeps it very stable when you're going over bumps or chunder and stuff on the mountain. And it also keeps it really stable at high speeds. It can handle speed, it can handle bumps, it can handle, little choppy snow, and it can be pushed pretty hard. So it's definitely in that advanced expert realm. This is a directional twin. So the nose is just slightly longer than the tail is. It has that all-mountain twin personality, but with a Weston flair where it is still really stable and steeps, feels really good when you're riding fast, is a lot of fun to carve, and it doesn't do too bad in softer snow. So when we're talking powder with the Rise, the narrower waist on this newer model will affect how much it can float in powder, but it still has a little bit of a wider waist width. So it's not, like a 238 is my normal waist width, and this is a 242. So it does have a little bit extra surface area, and the little bit of rocker on the nose and the tail will help it float a little bit. It's not a powder specialist, but if you get like a foot of snow, it should be totally fine. It still felt smooth to turn for me. So I rode it in a mellow powder day. It wasn't like super deep, but it still felt really nice. It wasn't grabby or divey in the snow. It felt pretty fun to ride in softer snow. But I think my favorite part about this board is I'm definitely a twin snowboarder. Like, I love twin boards. And what I like about this is that it's a twin board that I can take in steep terrain and that I know can be reliable in some more technical terrain. And so that was really fun when I brought it up on the steeps. The edge hold is really nice. The positive camber, the side cut, everything, it held really nice edge if it was icy, kind of scrapey off snow, but it was still nimble and maneuverable and very reliable. So I felt like I could make it maneuver at speed and still have the confidence that it's going to be stable and engage the edge when I want it to and release when I want it to. So that's really cool. I do really enjoy this board in the steeps. Off piste, personally for my specs, I like that they narrowed the waist width a bit because it makes it a lot more responsive for me off piste, in trees, through bumps, stuff like that. I'm able to turn it a little bit quicker than I was the previous model. So that is really fun. Feels great off piste. It's more for the advanced to expert rider. It's not like a beginner board off piste because it is a little bit of a stiffer board. So twisting the board takes a tiny bit of effort. It's nimble, it's reliable, it's consistent through bumps and through trees and stuff like that. So that's the cool thing about this board is it is super stable. So you can open it up, take some speed into the groomers, take some speed into your turns, do some more high intensity carving, and it stays really stable and really fun to carve and to bomb some groomers on. So really reliable and stable to take it on groomers, open it up a little bit, take some bigger large radius turns on it, and just have some fun. The cool part about this being a directional twin is it's still a little bit playful. So if you find a side hit or you want to go drop a rock or something like that, it's pretty maneuverable and nimble to do that. but because it's a little bit stiffer, you do have a slightly wider waist width, stuff like that. It's very stable in the landing, it's stable in the takeoff. It's, again, a reliable board that you can take into some more technical or more aggressive type riding, and it'll perform for you there. So carving on this board was pretty fun. It's kind of like a mellower camber with a little bit more of a mellower side cut. So I felt like, for me, it liked a wider radius carve, but it was able to hold an edge. It has good energy out of the turn, and again, it's super fun because you can take the carves at speed and it'll still stay stable for you and still give you the response you're looking for. If we bring it down to the park, I feel like the Weston Rise kind of prefers the free ride park type terrain, not like the terrain park with features type terrain, but you know, it's friendly enough to dabble in the park a little bit. It's not a freestyle expert. It's more of a, hey, I want to go drop that rock, or I want to hit that cornice, or I want to hit this windlip type of board. You know, it would be fun on bigger jumps. It would be fun for a heavier rider in the park. It would be fun in the half pipe with the positive camber and the stiffer flex and the edge hold and stuff like that. So it does have good energy to it in ollies and stuff like that, but it does like a little bit of faster paced riding, a little bit more of an aggressive rider or a heavier rider, things like that. But you know, friendly enough to dabble in the park. This board also comes in a split board version. If you're looking for a playful directional twin split board to take out, this is a good option there because you don't find a whole lot of directional twin split boards. Most of them are powder specific or super free ride specific. So the Rise kind of is an interesting board because it straddles the two lines of being a free ride board and being an all mountain twin board. I really like this for my style of riding. I like to take kind of a freestyle lens to an all mountain terrain, and so this is really fun for that. And it's also fun because you can ride it in powder. It's not a beginner powder board, so it's not gonna like do you any huge favors, but if you're a pretty advanced powder rider, it handles really well for that. So it can still handle in deeper snow as well, but it's not a beginner powder board. So it's more for someone who understands how powder works, likes to take a little speed into the deeper snow, stuff like that. You can see the top sheet is textured. It's a super tough top sheet, and it's nice also because it's not slick. So it does give you a little bit of traction when you're one footing and getting on and off the chairlift. It's a really cool board that can handle a lot of different terrain in an advanced expert realm, and it's reliable, it's stable, it's consistent, and it's also technical. So that is a look at the Rise from Weston in 149. If you are looking for the complete write-up and review, you can head over to thegoodrad.com to check it out.